Assalamu alaikum. Let us today explain what do we mean by microsporogenesis in case of reproductive biology. You know, we are discussing the sexual mode of reproduction in case of angiosperms, while we try to explain the sexual role of anther, while we have discussed the structure of microsporangium. If you remember, we discussed the role played by the epidermis, endothecium, middle layers, and tapetum. Tapetum was the most vital layer that was protecting the sporogenous cells. Those sporogenous cells which are future mother cells, which are future pollen grains. Today, we have to discuss the vital topic within this reproductive biology, how a pollen grain is formed from pollen mother cell involving meiosis. Beta, topic जो हमारा है microsporogenesis. As you know, genesis means formation. Oogenesis, spermatogenesis. Genesis means formation. Microspore is another name for pollen grain. Can you claim now? The formation of haploid pollen grain, you call this as microspore. So formation of haploid N means half set. Formation of haploid microspores, haploid pollen grains from diploid to N pollen mother cells, which we call as microspore mother cells, by meiosis is called as microsporogenesis. बेटा याद रखिए, माइक्रोस्पोरोजेनेसिस का मतलब होता है जब एक डिप्लॉइड पोलन मदर सेल से, जब एक डिप्लॉइड फर्टाइल सेल से मियोसिस के बाद हैप्लॉइड पोलन ग्रेन्स बनते हैं जिन्हें हम माइक्रोस्पोर्स कहते हैं. इसलिए माइक्रोस्पोरोजेनेसिस मीन्स फॉर्मेशन ऑफ माइक्रोस्पोर्स फ्रॉम माइक्रोस्पोर मदर सेल्स इन्वॉल्विंग meiosis. You remember, this is diploid cell. This is called as pollen mother cell. This is PMC. This is diploid cell. This is also called as microspore mother cell. You know, microspore is another name of pollen grain. Sometimes this diploid cell is called as microsporocyte. That the cell which is responsible for the formation of the future microspores. वो सेल है microsporocyte. और बेटा याद रखिएगा, few years back, a question was asked in the NEET exams where there was option for 4 cells. Among those cells, you had to qualify, you had to select a diploid cell. One of the option was meiocyte. Please remember, those pollen mother cells which are diploid here, you have to say it is also called as meiocyte because it will undergo one of the important processes that is called as meiosis here. इसीलिए जब इस वाली डिप्लॉइड सेल की meiosis होगी, जाहिर सी बात है एक हैप्लॉइड स्ट्रक्चर बनेगा, हैप्लॉइड पोलन ग्रेन्स बनेंगे, एक हैप्लॉइड टेट्राड, a group of 4 pollen grains. Whenever it will be formed from diploid pollen mother cell involving meiosis, please remember it is called as microsporogenesis. जरा बेटा आप मुझे बताइए, my topic is microsporogenesis. Can you define, sir, what is microsporogenesis? Shabash. Formation of haploid pollen grains, that means from this towards this. Formation of haploid pollen grains from diploid pollen mother cells involving meiosis here, that is called as microsporogenesis. आपने याद रखा है, जो cell which undergoes this meiosis, we call it as pollen mother cell, mother of pollen grains. Microspore mother cell, microsporocyte, sometimes meiocyte, which was asked in the NEET exams here, and it is this cell which is fertile sporogenous cell. If you remember my lectures, आपको मैंने structure of pollen sac में बताया था कि pollen sac, it is this structure. इसके सबसे अंदर वाला जो एक टिश्यू होता है, this tissue is called as sporogenous tissue. Please remember, यही सुपोरोजीनस टिश्यू के अंदर यही फर्टाइल सुपोरोजीनस सेल्स होते हैं और इन्हीं सुपोरोजीनस सेल्स की मियोसिस होती है और यही सुपोरोजीनस सेल्स कल जाके पोलन मदर सेल्स बनते हैं, यही कल जाके पोलन ग्रेन्स फ्यूचर बनते हैं मियोसिस से। इसीलिए इस सुपोरोजीनस सेल्स का मियोसिस होना, पोलन मदर सेल्स का मियोसिस होना या माइक्रोस्पोर मदर सेल्स का मियोसिस होना, वो सेल जिसके अंदर मियोसिस होती है दैट इज कॉल्ड एज मियोसाइट। Formation of the pollen grains from these pollen mother cell involving meiosis, that is called as microsporogenesis. This is first point. Second point you have to remember about this microsporogenesis. मैं आपको बेटा बताऊंगा सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट।